Last time on Kingsport, Verity's foster brother Malachi returned from the sea, and they resumed their most inappropriate feelings for each other. Fortune encountered the mysterious messenger who ordered her to wreak his vengeance upon the town. Mercy converted the Reverend Wilkins to her religion. Chastity was anything but, and accused John Baxter of being a witch. This week, the trials begin. Will Mercy live to see her Uncle Moab's vision of Innsmouth town come to life? Will Malachi's defiance of the messenger lead to his downfall? And will any of them burn? Find out this week as we return to Kingsport. Welcome back to Monsterhearts Kingsport 1692. Tonight's the last session. We looked at witch trials, all kinds of fun, and probably character casually, but we'll find out. We have another great cast back with us tonight, so why don't we go around the virtual table and introduce them? Why don't we start with Agatha, who plays Malachi the Mortal.
Malachi is Verity's adopted brother, or Verity is Malachi's adopted sister. He's very beautiful and broody. Is also super injured at the moment from being mauled by Verity since last session, and his love is also Verity. So it's a lot of complicated feelings going on. And there are two, I think the devil has 2 strings on him at the moment, or maybe 3. So we'll see. The survival level rate is not high for Malachi.
You would be lucky if it was the devil who had 3 strings on you. The messenger has 3 strings on you. So let's jump next to our favorite bomb thrower, Fortune, played by Daryl, and she is our witch, the real one. Not everybody else is a witch too, but she's really a witch.
Yeah, as the only real witch here, of course, it's up to me to start lobbing accusations, and basically got the witch trials in Kingsport started, and now I have to figure out how I'm going to clean up my own mess. Also, I'm pretty sure that I know what I want now, and I'm going to fight for who I want, and I don't know that who I want has already shipped her foster brother, so we'll see how that goes.
Everything is going to be just fine. It's going to work out exactly like that. Why don't we go next to everybody's favorite Hollow, Chastity, played by David.
Yeah, Chastity Whitborn, the daughter of the local military vet, who she recently had a bloody sexual awakening with some witches in the forest, and kind of has been loving life since then, sort of. And the messenger came and kind of hinted at some confusing things about her past related to being a hollow. She's, in fact, very confused, frightened, and knocked down a peg if we're looking at her conditions. So, she's trying to get to her, I guess, 3 different loves of the witches' coven, who she just wants to do as many rituals as possible with them. And these trials will surely help that.
By the way, the ritual is sex. Speaking of which, let's go to Mercy, our deep one, played by Dylan.
Yeah, so Mercy Pembleton is a deep one who wishes that she was human, even though she doesn't really understand what human is. she's been her family and the Baxter family kind of arranged, John her an engagement between her and John Baxter to be married. But one of her ways of trying to get out of that too is accusing the Baxters of witchcraft. She's been a little awkward and hasn't really been that lucky in love or in her love efforts. But last week we learned, when her family needs her to get something done, though, she'll find a way to get it done. And so she did seduce the visiting Reverend Perdition Wilkins in order to bring him into the family. And that's Mercy with background music.
Yeah, he had a sudden conversion, I think we could say. And finally, but not least in the slightest, our werewolf Verity, played by Serafina.
So Verity really just wants everyone that she loves to be taken care of and be okay. She and her, adopted brother, she's technically the one adopted into the family. I don't know how you say that. Recently admitted to their feelings for one another and fell into bed, and she immediately transformed into a werewolf with the help of the messenger and savaged him. So she's not feeling great about that. She also accused John Baxter of witchcraft, or at least helped out at the end there, because she hates that fucking dude. And now she's, putting her ducks in a row as much as her unsubtle self can, in the hopes that he will go away forever for having killed her very good friend Aphra, and for generally wreaking havoc in the town and being an enormous dick.
Yeah. Well, you've got a full plate. So, actually, I think the place to open is at Shay Goodwin. So how has Malachi been doing? Are you healing up there?
I think so. I feel like for fiction's sake, I should be mobile.
Sounds good. Cool.
But let's say I have really my shirt is constantly half open with those sexy bandages inside, just because that's the vibe.
Right. So you're seriously injured in the anime.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So why don't we open in the house? What are you doing to take care of Malachi there, Verity? I mean, beyond what you did to take care of Malachi.
I don't know what you mean. Rude. So I think that Verity has barely left the house since Malachi got hurt, which of course is counter to her usual behavior. And so she has been doing a lot of any remedy that she can find, trying to treat his wounds. She won't stop apologizing to him whenever people aren't around, which I don't know how he feels about, but she just won't stop saying that she's sorry. So yeah, she's basically at his beck and call 24/7, trying to make sure that he recovers.
I invite you guys to open this scene for me.
Yeah, so oh, okay. I think I'm sitting on the edge of the bed, and at this point, it looks like I can probably get up to move now, and maybe it's daytime. Sponge bath.
So Verity comes in with some clean bandages and your shoes, and she's like, "Well, you said you wanted to make your way into town today. I have these. I can redress your wounds, and then we can go."
I am injured, Verity. I am not crippled.
No, I am aware that you can get your own shoes, but I just feel really badly.
But it's not your fault.
I can't believe I signed his book. If I didn't sign his book, he wouldn't be able to do this to me.
Verity. And I grab your face, ? And I kiss you.
But it's true. Oh, are you rolling to turn me on?
Oh, right.
Is that happening?
I guess?
Uh-huh.
Sure. Why not? Okay. Okay, that's like an 11. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
What is that? Oh, okay.
do.
I get another string on you. Okay, I have a lot of strings. I should spend it.
Yeah. Okay, so I promised you something I think that you want. I say, I promise that I will never let any harm come to you again, and that I will free myself from him somehow.
Promise me that you'll stop blaming yourself. And I'm going to spend a string. So if you take it, you get an experience.
Yeah, okay, yeah. She sort of looks away for a long moment and then looks back at you and says, I will stop blaming myself.
Brilliant.
Now put
I
your
pull you in to make out.
A lot of rituals. So I think Mercy's is to house, but my question is, which of her fellow accusers are also there?
So Mercy's at which house?
Your house, I
Oh, my
think.
house. Okay. Oh, and which of my fellow accusers are
Yeah.
there? Probably, I wouldn't. Maybe Chastity and also Fortune.
Sounds about right. So I don't think we've met the head of the Baxter family. But let's do that now. And her name is Leia Baxter. So Leia comes to your door.
Why, Mrs. Baxter, what brings thee to my home?
Miss Pembleton, I think that it's this time we talked about family business between your family and mine. And she looks past you and says, I see you have your friends with you. Well, we can speak still.
Yes, you can.
If we allow the waves to close over some of that which is said.
Perhaps. What is it that you want to say?
I know that all of thou art friends with young Miss Goodwin.
And
It would do you well to withdraw the charges you have made against my eldest. And in return, my youngest shall not give testimony against your friend. For your friend is a witch. Be there no doubt of that.
I beg your pardon, Lady Baxter, but I don't think Grace's testimony holds up if she is not surrounded by people who have come across as more truthful than she. She has been caught lying before.
Think not that you frighten me, girl. There are ways to loosen tongues. And there's more books than one to sign in this world.
Yes, but some signatures have already been placed.
I. What think you of this young misfortune, Mercy?
Well, she's my friend.
For I am minded of taking a servant when we move to Innsmouth. That will be.
You plan to move soon?
As soon as our troubles here are settled. And so that thou knowest, dear Fortune, we do consider our servants one of our family, and indeed, after a while they may perhaps join our family wherever they may go. And we Baxters are a very long-lived line.
Fortune doesn't say anything, but you can tell by the look on her face that she's very thoughtful on this matter.
Ooh, Chastity's like seething. She's not happy about that.
Dear Chastity, will thou not withdraw the accusation? Thou was first accused, my son.
Well, I've been taught not to lie in front of my father or in front of any court, so I will just tell exactly what I've seen.
You know my son is not a witch and did not come to thee in any form.
I know that he came upon me in my room in a ghostly form.
Even were I to credit that, couldst thou not retract thy testimony? Let it be said that it was merely a flight of fancy. Let us put all this behind us and not fall to pieces like Salem Town.
Lady Baxter, even if your son is cleared of witchcraft, that does not mean that he does not still stand accused of murder.
Well, that is a very serious thing. But if that were the case, it would have still been done within the terms of the justice that our families have held to for long. Is that not so, Mercy?
It's changing times, Mrs. Baxter.
Or thinkst thou that, if this were true, that my son acted alone? The problem with secrets in a place such as this is that they are the warp and woof of what we live in. If you unravel one thread, the whole piece will come to shreds.
Well, Miss Baxter, I will take all of this under advisement. Perhaps I'll swim on it some, and I will give you my answer in the morning.
Think well on this. Do not think that there is any way to hold my girl's tongue. And with that, she spins and runs.
Lady Mercy, may I offer you a suggestion?
Please.
I have observed the witch trials in Salem, and I found that in cases where the accused is from a prominent family, they need only confess to witchcraft and repent their sins, and oftentimes they get a slap on the wrist. Perhaps if you offered Lady Baxter the suggestion that John should offer up the idea that he killed Aphra Moore on order of the devil and that he was bewitched, maybe everyone could get out of this with at least something. And even if John Baxter dies, there's still grace.
Yes. I was actually thinking something similar. I was planning on visiting John in the stockades or in the the jail or whatever, and to see if perhaps I could convince him to confess. or to save everyone the suffering and take his own life.
That seems the appropriate point to cut there. So Verity, as you and Malachi are leaving the cabin, our old friend Fear the Lord Wood, who, if one must speak the truth, has actually been quite generous during the period of Malachi's convalescence. He has taken on your chores and has made sure that there's always fire and water. He's carrying a load of wood. Yes, I know the question, and the answer is no. No, he's not. And he puts it down and says, Mistress Verity, may I speak with you a moment?
Yes. So I leave. I walk a few feet away from Malachi.
How fares Malachi?
Well enough that he would like to make the walk into town.
I fear I must confess something to you, but I do not have the words.
What does it concern?
Understand that the secrets between you and Master Goodwin are your own, and I have no intention of interfering. I find the irony to be most piercing in this regard. But I did not come to this town with no purpose, nor did I end up at the house of Goodwin for no reason.
So then, why did you come here?
Orphan thou may be, but thou hast a brother. And he just stands back.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Are you saying that you are... Wait. I don't know whether to hug you or scream.
Our parents were taken a sudden by the Christians. They had lived in the woods in harmony with the forest peoples as they had done for many years. We were both orphaned, but you were taken and came here, I suppose. It has taken me many years to track you down across the length and breadth of this land.
Why didn't you tell me when you first came here?
I needed to understand what might be best for you. And now I see that the forest is in your heart, Verity. That this place will only constrain and bind you, and it is not safe here. Think thou that I do not feel the call of the moon as well, for I do. Wouldst thou not run in the moonlight with me through the black woods? Wouldst thou not howl at the moon? Wouldst thou not live in harmony and peace away from these Christians and their axes and their iron?
I don't know what to say. I mean, I do want that life, but there's so much holding me here. What would I do without Malachi? And what would happen to my friends?
Well, we need a way to populate our people, so perhaps we are not the only people, the descendants of Virginia and the Roanoke's. We have had discussion amongst ourselves of perhaps founding our own place far from settlement here. There's a secluded vale called Dunwich that I was thinking we might find a way to live in. There's a man named Watley who will be guardian and protector to us there.
I cannot leave before my friend's safety is assured, but I do want to go.
I will protect you as best I can, dear sister, but we must be ready to run.
She
Everyone,
she leans in, kisses him sisterly on the cheek, and says, "I'm always ready to run."
okay, that seems the right place to cut. So, I want to know a little bit about Chastity and how she's dealing with stuff, and then we'll maybe check in on John Baxter.
Yeah. No. Thinking she might try to recruit, go to the Abbott house and recruit Lazarus here, who has been, I guess, trying to court Chastity in the past, and maybe she might need another word or another witness, maybe.
Right. Yeah, and I'm sure he'd be happy to witness a ritual or two, right? Sure. Yeah, we have really not met Lazarus Abbott, so why don't you tell me a little bit about him?
Yeah. I think I think he's overly religious. So shooting myself in the foot. He's um, maybe just like um, like the nerdy religious. I mean, I guess I'm just describing Puritans, but maybe like the overly dutiful Puritan kind of person, like not yeah. I don't know if does that make any sense?
Yep. There are Puritans and then there are Puritans. Okay,
Yeah, just
cool.
kind of the geeky, scrawny guy.
So I think he comes and pays a call on the Whitburn house and is happy to sit with you in your front room. And he is talking, like any good Puritan, about how, well, if it should come to pass that the Baxters should fall, they have much good farmland that I think my father would be pleased to purchase, and it would make a most wonderful dowry.
Lazarus, if did I mistake you? Did you say if they should fall? I would remind you that this John Baxter visited me in my house. He set the Phantom of Aphramore on me. He's I think if the good powers of this village don't make sure that they fall, then I will probably fall in their stead.
Mine father, who went to Harvard, as thou knowest, has often consulted with the Mathers and with other great and learned clerics, and there is some dispute as to whether or not the devil might be able to take on the form of another. In other words, can someone seeming or phantom be taken by the devil for his own purposes? It is an unclear point of theology that perhaps can only be proved through some revelation by the divine, but I will say this about the Baxters: they have proved a most resilient family, long lived and have long memories. So one should, as a good New England farmer would, hope for harvest but plan for frost.
I suppose that could be true. I haven't. That does make sense to me, but I just don't know what I can do. I'm almost scared to sleep now. It's just been every time I close my eyes, I seem to see the horrifying vision again.
Oh, dearest Chastity, do not allow the phantasms of these witches to haunt thee overmuch. Thou art a good Christian and have the protection of our Lord. And of me.
Well, yeah. Then, how well did you know Mr. Baxter? You're of similar age. Did you ever?
I have always found John Baxter to be an honest dealer and a good rider, and he has done well as factor for his father's businesses. That he could be a witch, I find hard to credit, but then the devil does walk among us daily now, it seems, and all of New England is under his sway. They are an odd family, the Baxters. There are many odd families in this town. To be honest, the Pembletons are good people, and they have much in the way of wealth, but I think only of this world.
Well, Mercy has been a true friend. She's quite spiritual, as far as I know.
Always the Baxters and the Pembletons have been united, and now they are at each other's throats. This does not seem safe to me, nor does it seem a wise investment to bank upon their enmity. They are more like than not to come to some agreement, if not the children, then the parents.
I think Chastity's almost like, what? I don't even know. What are you talking about? Because I feel this is like going over Chastity's head. So she's like, oh, well, yes, that's probably true. And it does make me feel better that at least you're looking out for me. And my father does say I might have to testify in the court case coming up.
Oh,
But
dear Chastity, how terrible! And he forgets himself for a moment and touches your hand.
oh yeah, and I feel maybe exactly 4 weeks ago she would have been like terrified or scandaled by that, but I think she just lets it. She's like, oh yeah, maybe she does one better and puts her hand on top of that. It's like, oh, thank you so much for the comfort.
Would you like to roll plus hot? Because seriously, it is not hard to turn on a sexually repressed Puritan.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, but that's a 6.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Oh boy.
I guess I do have a string on him. Can you do strings as well? Can you roll
Yeah.
against?
Yeah, you can add a string to him. That'll give you +1. That would make it a 7.
Yeah, is that worth it? Yeah, probably. Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, okay. That is cool. I know what he's gonna do. Without a word, he sinks to one knee and he says, "Mistress Whitbourne, I know that this is a sudden, and I have not properly spoken to thy father, but can thou give me thy promise? Wilt thou be my wife?"
Oh, interesting. I think she. I mean, if she was confused before, now she's very confused. She says, "Well, yes, you startle me, but yes, I think that would be good."
Okay, he is overjoyed, and he says he must rush off to tell Papa, and make arrangements, and that he'll have a formal engagement for you soon. And yeah. Jeez. Okay, this is awesome. So we don't know if it's a comedy or a tragedy yet, depending on whether or not everybody's dead or there's a wedding at the end. So Mercy, you said you wanted to go talk to John Baxter.
Yes.
Are you taking anybody with?
Well, I think before she does want to go for her swim to clear her mind and figure out what her best course of action moving forward is.
Would you mind if the Reverend Wilkins tagged along?
No, I as a player don't mind, but she probably wants to be alone. But that's cool if he tags along.
He could stay on the beach while she goes swimming.
Yes.
Okay. So I take it you are trying to gaze into the abyss?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't we do that?
Okay. So I get to. Let's see. Should I that good at gazing in the abyss because my dark is -1.
Wow.
Here we go. That's 5 in the abyss.
What's the question you were looking for?
Trying to figure out whether her best course of action was to get him to confess or to try and talk him into ending his own life.
Okay. So as you swim, you let your mind go and let it wander into the great underwater cities of your people, asking for advice. And your great-great-grandmother comes to you in your vision, looks at you and just says, "The sea is cold, daughter. The sea is about survival. We are salt. We are of the sea. You will never convince John Baxter to kill himself. Nor will the Baxters abandon their feud, for the future of their family now hangs upon it. There is but one solution if you wish to stop his tongue forever." And she holds out a dagger made out of shell.
Okay. So I will definitely take that.
Okay, I think you come out of the water holding the dagger. The Reverend Wilkins is like, did you find that in the water? Is this of your people?
This was entrusted to me by my great grandmother. I must do the right thing with it. And she tucks it into her kind of like into the fold in her dress as she gets dressed.
I would say that you are a harsh and cruel people, but the corpses hanging from trees from here to Salem town seem to speak not well for the Christians. Perhaps cold blood is needed in the water.
You are a quick study, good Reverend.
All my life I have been seeking the words of a true God. I have not found him in Jesus, but the gods of your people.
Reverend, my people are gods.
Do your people marry?
Of course.
Do they marry those born of the land?
Only those who who wish to join us and live a long life in the sea.
I would join thee especially beneath the waves.
Aren't you sweet, good Reverend? Come now. I've got work to do.
Yes, I must write a sermon. I think the subject shall be quite interesting this week.
Yes, and I must visit my fiance.
His face falls, and please roll with cold.
So that's a 7. I think I'm plus 2. Yeah. So that's an 8, 9.
Okay, well, which one do you want? You're going to get condition back.
Let's see. Does he have any strings on me?
Brent Wilkins. Where did I put him? Here he is. No, he does not.
Actually, if I take one forward, it can be. Does it have to be related to this event?
Nope, you just take +1 forward.
I'm gonna take +1 forward because I think I'm going to need it.
Okay. Nah, the condition back.
Heartless.
Yep. I like that one. Heartless. That's it. I mean, it's not technically true. You have 2 hearts, as a matter of fact. Okay. So you're going to see John Baxter. Are you taking anyone with you?
I think I might take Fortune and Chastity with me because they were there when I said that I was going to visit him.
And here I was bemoaning the fact that I don't have a queen, and yet here we are. Cool. That sound good for you guys? Okay, cool. So you go to the jail. It is a dismal affair. But our old friend, Reverend Moore, is there, and John Baxter. His shirt has lost all its buttons, so it's open all the way down to his breeches, because that seems to be the trademark of Kingsport 1692. And he sees you come in, and he is not happy.
Just a quick question. Are the buttons on the ground, or are they just like gone?
Just inside the bars.
Ah, okay then.
And the Reverend Moore is in there also?
Oh yeah. He looks like a broken shell of a man because he spent the last 2 weeks in here also mourning his daughter. Again.
So very quickly, I kind of pull Chastity to the side because she's probably the one who like can pull this off. And I tell her, Chastity, dear, I need you to get the good Reverend out of the room for a few minutes. Do you think you can swing that?
I feel that Chastity is noticeably terrified of John Baxter still. She's like, I'm not sure. I think this might maybe you two could do that.
Chastity, we all have our roles to play here, and I really need you to do this. And I'm gonna actually see. Let me see if I have any strings on you that I can spend at this point. Yes, actually. So I pull out like your mother's hair ribbon that you gave me after our first sex orgy, and like it's actually no. I usually I pull my dress a little bit to the side and show you that it's like wrapped around like the string of my underdress, and I just say I would really appreciate it, and that's me pulling my string on you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. She'll be tempted to do that based on seeing that. And what do you want her to do? Just distract the Reverend?
I need him out of the room.
Oh, out of the prison?
Yeah, out of the jail. Yeah, so that it's just the three of us, just me and Mercy and John Baxter.
Hmm. She can try to do that. She might tentatively, how is it like a jail or just like a just locked door? Or?
No, it's actually got bars and stuff. But you know who the chief bailiff is? Daddy.
Hmm. Oh yeah, so would probably be able. She would be able to get these keys unlocked.
Oh, I don't think that we need to open the doors. I'm thinking, but if you can get those keys, that would be great. Yeah, I don't need any witnesses.
Oh, well, because the Reverend's in like locked up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll try and do that. That's would it be easy enough for me to do that, or should I make some kind of roll, or what? I guess she is pretty scared. I don't know. I guess I could keep my cool.
That works for me. I was gonna say if you had a string on your father, you could use that, but I don't know that you do. You do not.
So either. Okay, so let me try that. What is that? A cool. No, that's a failure. That's a 4 total.
Fantastic. So what happens is you duck out and look for your father to borrow the keys, and you don't see him. He's gone off. There's a guardsman there with his pike staff. He's leading, and he's like, "Oh, good morrow, young Miss Chastity." And you look up, and it's the messenger.
Okay.
How fare thou this morning?
I'm glad to see you. Actually, your daughter had me. She had me sent on a task, and I'm not sure if I'm equipped to deal with it.
I shall share you a secret. She's not really my daughter. Not like you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I must have misunderstood then.
Don't worry. I mean, I suppose I'm like your mother. Strange, but there you have it. What was the mission that young misfortune set you upon? For it's no mission I set upon her.
Oh, she wanted me to take the accused reverend out so that she and Mercy could speak to the witch alone. For what I'm not sure, but
Why? Oh, because she does not want a witness.
Oh yeah, she did speak of that.
Fear not, child. I have taken care of it.
Truly?
Oh yes, everything is fine. The Reverend will neither hear nor see anything.
Oh, well, thank you, Mother.
Whatever floats your boat, kid. It's really kind of all the same to me. Cool. So, Fortune. The Reverend he just slumps down in one corner and passes out, and you see blood pouring out of his closed eyes and ears.
Oh God. Okay. So
I think Chastity comes in and she's like, "Oh, great news, everybody!"
We don't have time for that right now. Obviously, something very, very bad is happening to the Reverend and Lady Pembleton. I really don't think that this is the time to do what we were about to do. We need to get out of here. We need, or oh God, oh goodness, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
This won't take long.
Wait. We need to make it look like he killed himself. And we need. Oh, wait. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. We'll blame it on him. It's fine. So
We
I run
make it
over.
look like the Reverend Moore did it.
No, what does the Reverend Moore have to do? He's not the one we want to convince to be a witch. We need John Baxter to take it. So I run over and I grab one of the buttons and I'm like, okay, let's give this a try. Just to check, his button counts as a sympathetic token, right? It's from his clothing. Yeah, cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right, time to do some magic. I'm not using this. So sympathetic tokens count as strings for me. So I'm not using this as a way to hex him from afar. I'm using this to add +1 to my roll to cast illusions on him. And my illusions are supposed to be like the ultimate guilt trip for everything he's ever done wrong in the world, and to convince him to take the knife that Mercy is about to offer, slit his own wrists, and write a confession in blood on the wall. And now, obviously, also take credit for the Reverend.
So I'm looking at the move. If that would maybe fit under false prophecy, but you don't have strong control over the visions or manifestations.
Okay.
If you could get the visions going, I can try and then, just to kind of make him more susceptible.
That would work. Sure.
Team effort.
Yes.
All right.
So
Let's not ruin this. It's a 9. It's a 10. Yes.
So Baxter looks up and he's like, "You're not that, Mercy? 'Tis the voice of the sea speaking to me."
I hear nothing, John.
Well, perhaps thou art not salt.
John, you know that there's no good outcome here. You know what happened in Salem. There's only one way that you can save your family.
Destroy thine?
No, you must do the honorable thing.
What honor do you speak of? It is not the honor of our people, nor of the Christians.
Oh, John. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I was so saddened by the fact that you and I will never be together and we'll never be able to marry. Come to me, dear fiance. And she reaches through the bars. And she's like, I must...
Do you have a string on him?
I do have a string on him. I was hoping to save the string to get him to actually, once he's bleeding, to write the confession part. But...
Okay. Yeah, make a roll. Make a roll for hot.
All right.
Let's see if this turns him on. I mean, he has been in prison for a couple of days. So.
Yes. So that's a 10, and my hot is -1, but I've got +1 forward on my shutdown of
That's true.
perdition. That's a 10.
You are one cold-hearted bitch. Cool. So, yeah, okay. He reluctantly steps forward. Like, but thou accused me. How can we be together?
The sea will find a way. And she kisses him. And with she's kind of one hand around, like, behind his neck and to the back of his hair, and the other hand she's pulling the dagger out from underneath.
Okay.
And then I want to slit his wrist wide open.
I'm gonna say this merits a keep your cool move.
I keep my cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. That is an 8 plus 2 is a 10.
By the way, you picked up a string on him too.
Okay, so I've got 2 strings on it now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you slash his wrist open pretty bad. There's a spray of blood. He staggers back. Like, what hast thou done? What hast thou done?
I'm saving our kind, John. I'm saving our kind. My family will live on. Yours will too. If you take this opportunity to spell out on the walls that it was you and you alone who killed Afra, and that it is you who is the witch. It is you who brought the devil to Kingsport. You write, I brought the devil to Kingsport in your own blood, and your family will live on. And I'll use a string.
Okay. He's staggering back. He says, salt for salt. If sacrifice myself for my family is a thing I am prepared to do, as we all are, you must give up the water. Let us sacrifice let us each make a sacrifice for our families, for thou knowest Alexander was with me.
So she tries to look like, but give up the water. He means like leave the deep ones.
Yeah, not you.
Yeah.
Give up your future under the waves.
Yes. So she tries to look like it's a really hard decision, and let's just think about it. But then she's like, "Very well, John. I owe you that much."
He just waits because he knows that you have to slit your wrist and say the right word, the right phrase in Aklo. Not slit your wrist, slit your palm.
Yeah.
And say the right word in Aklo.
Okay. Yeah. So she says, I owe you that much, and she puts it in her hand and slits it open and begins her chant. Basically giving away giving away the hold, or releasing herself from the hold of what's his name?
Dagon and Hydra.
Yes. And cursing herself to the life of a mortal.
So he's getting ready. He's getting woozy, but he writes, "The devil and I slew Aphramor alone." And then he looks at you and he just laughs. You do not understand what you have done, Mercy. You will never be free of the call of the waves. Mother Hydra will sing her song in your ears for the rest of your short mortal life. And you shall have no comfort of it. And he passes out.
And I think she just looks over to Fortune. I think we're about done here. I just have to return this to my grandmother.
I take a moment and I reach out and I take your hand and I say, I can't imagine what you just gave up, but I can promise that whatever you still have on land, we can definitely have a good time with it. I'm not turning you on. I'm trying to like comfort you and let it be like a very emotional moment. There's no like comfort someone role.
No, I think she's comforted by that, but she's also feeling somewhat relieved because. And I'm trying to, as we're doing this, I'm trying to also look up my darkest self thing because I don't know if that might be appropriate here. Where the human and deep one in me are two different. I have to choose a side, and irrevocably as possible. Watch. So I think this is pretty much I went darkest self and chose to be human, right?
I am 100% behind this one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're darkest self. Congratulations. Welcome to the dark. We have cookies and dark roast coffee. So.
All right.
Wow. Okay. Let's do one more scene before we go on break. Anybody want to do a scene? Anybody got some ideas? I know you wanted to get in touch with Fortune, right, Malachi?
Yes, I do.
Oh, fantastic. Where do you find Fortune?
Where do I find you, Fortune?
Well, I'm sure that the ladies and I are on a procession to the seaside to return the dagger. And I'm sure that if you flagged me down, I could peel myself away from my witchy sisters.
Yeah, so it's like you're walking towards like the waters, and then like there's like wind blowing, and then you see like this lone figure somewhere far away, just looking at you and then gesturing.
I turn to the others and I say, sisters, there's one more thing I need to make sure of. I will meet with you later. And then I depart and make my way through the woods to wherever you are.
Yeah, we're just in some like I don't know. I don't really know what kind of trees are beside the water in this.
Is it the clearing where like maybe you got mauled or something and you're coming back here to be pensive?
Sure. Anyway, we're just in some copse in the woods, and so on and so forth. Because Malachi is maybe a little extra when you enter this clearing. Malachi has his back to you, and it's like leaning against the tree, with shirt. And then he turns around, and it's like his shirt is like half open again, with like the sexy bandages. Because I insist. Fortune, Miss Fortune.
I prefer Lady Fortune.
True. I walk forward towards you, and I think I tuck the same strand of hair behind your ear again.
Are you trying to turn me on?
Yeah, I think I like look at your lips, and then I like half smile to myself. Lady Fortune. And yeah, I'm gonna roll. And I'm gonna give you a string on me, so I can add 3 to my roll.
Whoa!
Because I took the fame move. Even though I have 2 hot, but it's I insist. Okay. What did I get? Yeah, this is like beyond. That's a 9 plus a 3 is 12 plus 2. Anyway, so it's 10 plus.
Take that string back, because now you get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Or rather, you gave him a string on you. That's right.
Yes. So you can have a string in the form of whatever item.
Yeah. So I. Okay. Let's see how this plays out because.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So I have to choose one of the options, and it's funny because like what I'm going to do is I'm going to promise something I think you want, But in that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start unbuttoning my dress because I think that what you want is for me to give myself to you.
Okay.
And
yeah.
so you can choose whether you go for that or whether that's like, me like, promising you something that you want.
I mean, yeah, you can definitely do that. That is not, in fact, what Malachi wants, but that's fine.
Didn't think so. But I mean, Fortune doesn't know any better. She's just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, ritual time.
I think the ritual time. Yeah, I think the string that you get from me is actually, so my hair was tied up in a ribbon, a dark silk ribbon, and then I think you pulled it off when I tucked your hair, whatever. Anyway, okay, now I have a string. Yes, that is what I wanted. When you start unbuttoning your dress, put a hand on your arm.
And I stop unbuttoning my dress and I look very inquisitively at you and I say, is something the matter? I'm not used to someone stopping me in this particular moment.
It's cold out, Misfortune.
Hmm.
And I thought that you only did this with my sister.
So first of all,
roll with cold, please.
My cold is garbage. I'll go for it. Let's see.
-1, 7.
That's an 8. Yeah, it's a 7. Huh. I'm not sure.
You can take that string back that you gave her.
Actually, you do lose a string on me, and it's the cameo.
How did you even know I had it? Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, Malachi doesn't know, so it's interesting to me to see how he gets it.
Okay. Maybe okay.
What condition do you give me?
You know what? No, actually, the way that yes, the condition I'm going to give you is I'm going to say, my, how indiscreet. And so your condition is indiscreet, and yeah,
True.
And then, actually, at this point, I'm gonna reach into my dress and I'm gonna actually pull out the cameo, which is around my neck, and you're gonna recognize it as the one that you got from, or the one that held Verity's portrait. And so, I mean, you'll get it back at the end of the scene, however, but I'm
yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find the place where I write in the condition. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. I seethe upon seeing it. I know that I know that it was you who introduced Verity to the devil.
On the contrary, mortal boy, Verity found her devils her own way. I offered her to sign my book, and she chose someone else. And just to clear up any misunderstandings, Verity and I are only the most chaste of friends.
Do you not admit that you are the devil's servant, one of his kids?
I mean, I don't think that he would regard me as a child, but if you want to use the nomenclature of the day, sure. But then again, who isn't nowadays? Half of the town has signed my book, and your own sister has her own, shall we say, predilections.
You will stay away from her, and I'm going to spend my string on you. So if you take that experience, you don't have to. But...
Yeah. So let me just read the string spend real quick. I forget how that works against other player characters. When you spend a string on someone, tempt them to do what you want. Okay, and then I just get an experience if I say yes.
Yeah. I think there's like different ways that you can use it or something. You can like spend it to like make someone's rolls like -2 or something, but I'm not.
You're tempting a character to do what you want. And if you tempt, you give them experience point. If they refuse it, then you keep the string.
Oh. Oh, okay. Interesting.
So I'm gonna look at you and I say, why so possessive of your sister who's not even really your sister? And hast thou not been gone for 3 years? It seems interesting that you might come back and demand so many things from someone you don't even know.
What do you know of love?
I'm sure I know more than you.
Roll with gold, please.
Okay, I'm pretty sure my cold is garbage as well. My cold is a -1, so, and that is a like 4. So yeah.
Well, this is a learning experience for you then.
Two high hot, low cold characters trying to shut each other down.
Cool. Suddenly you are not alone.
Devil.
Malachi Goodwin, thou hast called my name twice, and here I am before thee. What wouldst thou knowest? And it is indeed our old friend, the jolly old messenger. Jolly old Scratch.
Get you behind me, you old goat.
Oh wow, I haven't heard that one in a long time. No? Why are you molesting my follower? Wouldst thou like another beating to learn thy place?
Canst she be molested?
Well, I mean, if you're diligent, yes.
I'm standing right here.
Hush now, child. The adults are talking. I am here to protect she who has signed my book. It is one of the little services I provide.
What dost you want?
My name sung from one end of this land to another, or failing that, all of it aflame, chaos reigning. 6 of one, half dozen the other. No one calls my name in vain, young Malachi. Not in this town, not in the presence of one who has signed my book.
What does he look like right now?
He's still the jolly kind of almost Santa Clausy type guy with with a satchel slung over his shoulder, holding that twisted, snaky staff. But his eyes glitter with a cold and amused malice. Do you know what I sell, young Malachi? Do you really know what I sell?
I turn completely away from Fortune and start walking towards him.
What wouldst thou with me?
What wouldst thou with me?
You called my name. That tells me that you would like something. And what I sell, truly and deeply and dearly, is not magic and illusions and baubles, though my duller-witted followers do call it all these things. Nor is it technology and engineering and methods, though there will be a day when that happens too. What in truth I sell, dear Malachi, is shortcuts, exploits, ways to avoid hassle and trouble of one kind or another. Seek thou such a thing? For example, those who sign my book find themselves pledged all their life, often. Is there someone whose name you would rather I strike off?
How do I go about this?
So I slide back into frame and I just say, For someone, just like selects me. It's like, for someone who pledges to value thy sister's life so greatly, surely your own life should be nothing to pay for her safety. Don't worry,
your
I'll take
mouth,
care of it.
woman. I'm not speaking to you.
Oh, but I think you are this time.
I
So, as someone who has contracted the devil already, I'm your mentor in this situation.
I'm still walking towards the messenger, and I think I start stripping.
Interesting. Not a coin I usually purchase, but winning Kingsport.
And I'm going to roll to turn him on.
I'll have you know, this is not the first time that someone has flirted with an outer god in one of my games. So I'm behind this.
And I'm going to give him a string on me. How many strings does he have?
Yes, 4
Too many.
now.
I think he has more strings on. Yeah, that's true. If I was in this game longer, I would take the entrenched.
Yeah. Yeah, you really ought to take the infernal move. That ought to be awesome.
Yeah, so I rolled a 7 plus. Yeah, so that's 10 plus.
Take a string on the messenger, I guess.
Which is strange. Why did I take a string on him?
Because you rolled a 10.
Yes, but also generally.
Oh, well, you know now that he can at least be amused by human beings and their antics in a way that draws his interest. Let's call it that.
There must be something about the way that
Please, no monkey sex, but what is it you would have me do? Strike thy sister's name off my rolls.
I'm a simple man.
Well, now, very well. Huh. All right. Well, your sister is a fine servant to me. But I can see that your love is so truly great. What you need to do is to free your sister. All right. I'll free her of everything. There'll be nothing to hold her. Is that what you want?
What dost thou mean?
Well, why, she's held here by her family, is she not? I'll tell you what, kid.
You will release her from your book.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. I tell you what, kid. You seem to have some doubts going on, yes?
I do. I doubt your word. How
Okay.
can I know?
Very well. This is what I shall do. Tell me what you want in 24 hours, say, and then everything will be fine. Very well. I've done my work for among you. If in 24 hours you wish to strike your sister's name off the book, I shall do it, and I shall free her of everything that ties her here, and and she will be free, and you will be free too. It's sort of a 2-for-1. Fortune.
Yes, my lord.
things are going well?
Yes, my lord. We are taking care of all of the problems, and things will settle down here soon enough so I can start causing some real chaos.
Hmm. Yes. Well, it seems that, yes. Very well. I think I'll have some work for you, but not yet. First, I must do a few other tasks.
I'll eagerly await your missive, my lord.
Hey, Verity, are you home?
I think, what time of day is it?
It's seen afternoonish.
She's probably doing some sort of chore. She might have done her chores for the day and is probably wandering around in the woods.
Cool. Um, you hear a shout from back at the cabin,
Oh no.
and when you come running back.
Yes, obviously.
All right, as you come running back, you see your mother is screaming because your father has collapsed in the yard. And as you come up, she looks at you and says, "Verily, I feel unwell," and collapses to the ground too. And they are completely insensitive. They're alive,
Right.
just.
Um,
Fear of the Lord comes out of the woods like, "Oh,
yeah. Um,
I shall help you carry them in the house."
yes. Yeah. I'm panicking, but I just do what I have to do to get them inside.
Cool. Hey, want to take a break now? Let's take a break now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so.
Great.
All right. Okay.
I'll gaze into the abyss real quick.
What does that look like with two unconscious parents and your newly revealed werewolf brother hanging out with you?
I mean, my werewolf brother knows what it looks like when I gaze into the abyss, so this should be fine. I think. Oh. I think that. Verity, once they get her parents settled into bed, runs outside back to where they had collapsed and basically starts sniffing around to see if she can detect anything unusual. What's gaze in the abyss plus? It's plus dark.
Oh, dark, yeah.
Dark of -1. So
Yep.
I'll roll a 7. That's not too bad. Confusing and alarming visions.
You wanted to know if what dark magic was involved?
Yeah.
Sure. Cool. What you get is a vision of the messenger standing in the cabin with the book open, looking down at your parents. Malachi is standing behind him, and he smiles, looks at you, looks at Malachi, scratches your name out of the book, slams it shut, and your parents just burn into ash.
Okay. All right. You can go to another scene. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Okay. Yeah. So, unless people want to follow up with something, I think maybe we need to move to the next day in the trial.
I was wondering if we could have just like a excuse me, brief post devil convo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
please go right ahead.
So I immediately start just hitting you over the head, and I'm just like, stupid boy, do you know what you've done?
I think I sit down on the ground, still naked, probably cold. And like just like bury my head in my hands.
I look down at you and I'm just like, it was like watching you wrap the rope around your own neck and then hand it to him. You know that, like, are you not a good Christian boy? The devil will find 17 ways to destroy any promise that he makes.
Misfortune. You came here with the devil in your stead, but I don't blame you. Because none of us can escape him. And I forgive you for all the things. And you can tell that I don't say that I forgive you, but you can tell that I am like sincere.
I take a moment to like absorb that, and I kind of like walk over and like grab your shirt and like throw it at you, and I just say, enough of this pitying party that you're throwing right now. We must work to go save Verity. If she's freed of all of her bonds here, do you know how many things tie someone to a single place? Do you know how many people tie someone to a single place? It's not just Verity who is in danger. We're all in danger because we all tie her down some way. So you need to get up and you need to help me figure out how to fix this. There is a little bit of self-saving going on right now, and you kind of pick up on that, but also there's like, you genuinely tell that I can like I really do want to save Verity, and I want to spare her like the calamity that I just feel is coming to her.
I think I took another string on you. Oh no, I don't. Never mind, because I didn't take that move. Okay. I'm just like, I'm pulling on my breeches, I'm putting on my shirt, pulling on my boots. And then what do I do? I think I stand up and I actually hug you briefly. And then I release you and I walk back into town. Or I walk back into where we live, the homestead.
I'm super not used to just that kind of affection, and I kind of stand there for a second, but then I follow you. And that's the scene. It's a great place to end.
Okay, so just to be clear, there was no special move triggered. Okay, good. Okay. Actually, I think we need to have another confrontation scene, don't we? If Malachi is coming straight home, yes, you will come home and find your two parents sick abed, with Verity and Fear the Lord Wood, who now is apparently hanging out inside the house, holding your sister's hand. This is a thing that seems to just have developed since last you were here.
So did I hear that conversation? I guess not.
I'm gonna say no. I think they both wanted to have that conversation out of earshot of you.
Okay.
I haven't briefed you on any of it yet. When you come into the house, you catch, like, for a moment, the scene of Fear the Lord Wood, like, holding my hand and speaking to me very earnestly. And as soon as you walk into the house, I leap up from our kitchen table and run at you and grab you by the shirt and push you against the wall and scream, "What have you done?"
With one hand, I like slowly take your hand away from my shirt. Still holding your hand. I walk forward to Fear the Lord Wood, and take his hand and put your hand in his. And I don't look at you, I look at him. Take her and leave now.
But her parents lie sick in bed. She must care for them.
Please.
What is this strange thing where all of a sudden I am given no agency by either of my brothers?
Also, just saying, her leaving is not going to change anything. This is all on you, Malachi.
Brother?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, brother?
get a chance to tell you, Fear the Lord is my brother from my biological family, my birth parents.
Even better.
What did you do? What happened? All I saw was a vision of you standing with that horrible man, and then our parents both fell ill. I think they're dying.
Verity, you need to leave, please. And I'm going to spin another string.
To make me leave.
Yeah.
Um,
Leave this house. This house is not yours. Leave this town. You were meant to be free of this.
I have already told my brother that I will not leave without you, so come with me.
I will follow. I have things I need to take care of first.
Following is not the same as coming with.
I need you to leave. Please. For me. I need to do this alone.
Do what alone?
I need to... Just know that I love you. All right. Please. Misfortune.
I know
Could
that
you-
you do, but I'm not going anywhere.
Are you refusing the...
Yeah, I'm gonna refuse the string.
Yeah, I may have made a slight mistake. If you spend the string and offer it, and she doesn't take it, you
It's
both
gone,
lose.
right?
Yeah, you both lose.
Ah, son of a bitch.
What does that mean if we both lose?
She doesn't get the experience, and you don't get the string.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. So that means I don't have a string on you, Fortune. I think, because I.
Oh, did you spend all of them?
Yep. I think
Anyway.
that's correct.
Well, I have
anyway.
3 on you. So
Yeah, I have 2, I believe.
So I'm gonna like squeeze in real quick, and I'm gonna like take Verity's hand, and I'm gonna actually like kind of pull her away, and it's like it's time for the girls to talk, and I'm just gonna like pull you like out of the house, and I'm gonna say, I think it's important that you know, we've met with the Dark Lord, Old Man Scratch, the messenger, whatever name he's going by today. Malachi made a deal, and his deal was all about you. And he wanted you to be free from the book that you signed. And the devil said that he would do it if Malachi agrees. Malachi hasn't agreed yet. I don't know what you saw or how you know about any of this, but like Malachi still needs to agree. So there's still time to change this. But you need to know what's at stake here. Don't let your brother, either brother, I don't understand that, but whatever, don't let them influence you. This is your life. And running is not, when has running ever been the answer?
I don't think that running is the answer, and I don't want to go. I am furious at him for making that decision without asking me, because it puts all of you at risk.
Yes, it does. It really does. The devil was very vague about what exactly it is that ties you here and what he was going to break the bonds of. So I'm a little worried that it's not just your parents, which, is an easy, obvious choice, but that it might spread wider and it might affect more people. And yeah.
Verity puts her hands on your shoulders and like kisses you on the cheek and says, I'm not going to let anything happen to you.
So while they're out of the house, can I just like get Fear the Lord Wood out of the house as well? Like
Get out.
is that a thing that I can just do?
You don't have a string on him, but you can ask, I guess. What is it you want him to do?
Could you please go outside to make sure that she is safe? I don't know what can happen at any moment. The dark power is everywhere.
Yes, of course. Keeping her safe is why I came here, but hast thou truly made a deal with the Dark Lord?
I have not agreed.
My people survived Roanoke because we made a deal with him. It may not be possible to truly strike her name from the book, for he has a hold on us. There are recompenses. And with that, he stalks out the door and chases after Verity.
Huh. I feel like I should roll to keep my cool or something.
Uh, yeah. What is your fear here?
Um, my fear is that it doesn't matter what I do. Verity will always be under the devil's thumb.
Seems fair. Why don't you? Yeah. Okay. I think it's this. It could be gaze into the abyss.
Oh, yeah. I'm cool with either.
Yeah.
I have -1 in both, so it doesn't super matter to me.
Let's do it
I
as
think.
gaze into the abyss then.
Sure, sounds good. That's a 6.
The visions are going to be amazing, amaze balls. Okay. Let me just see something here. Okay. What you see is this vision of the future where Verity is safe and runs through the woods with Fear the Lord Wood, and they are happy and free and far from you, and you never ever see her again. Would you mind entering your darkest self for me?
All right, everyone's in their darkest self. It's the last session. I'm about it. I'm about it.
Ironically, not fortune.
True. Oh, what is my?
Nor chastity, I think. So, but yeah, the two, well, werewolf darkest self tends to be temporary. Yeah. Um.
Okay.
So on the morrow, the trial begins. For although John Baxter is dead and the Reverend is is insensible, blind, and deaf, still no one is exactly sure that the witch has been taken care of, and so they have called down from Arkham a justice, the very learned Justice Halter Payton Esquire. And you all are in the meeting house, and the justice sits down, puts on his wig. He's wearing a very formidable looking red robe. It says, "This court of Voyer and Terminer is hereby called to order in the province of Massachusetts by the grace of God and their most sovereign majesties William and Mary, kings of England, Ireland, Scotland, and France. It seems that many have been called to the bar to accuse others of the evil crime of witchcraft. Today we shall find truth. For there is no stone that the devil may hide under, that the people of God himself shall not overturn. Chastity Whitbourne, comest thou before the bar?
Yeah, she does that.
Thou had accused the deceased John Baxter of witchcraft?
Yes, sir.
On the night that the devil did make himself manifest to all the good men of this town, what vision saw thou, Chastity Whitbourne?
I saw a phantom version of John Baxter appear in my own bedroom. I was flooded with terrible visions of things that he would do to my sisters and my friends.
On both occasions, you say. For there was a night when all the town seemed witched by the malice of Satan. What saw thou that night? Saw thou any others?
Also, the phantasm of Aphramore appeared to me.
Who is also
Surely-
conveniently dead.
Surely sent by her father or John Baxter himself.
It seems that thou, Chastity Whitbourne, doth accuse oft and see many phantasms, and know from whom they come. How come you to explain this?
I wish I knew why I was singled out by these sorcerers.
And the child, Grace Baxter, thou did provide her comfort during the time of her bewitchment?
Yes, I tried to as best I could.
And did she at any point confess that she knew who had afflicted her so?
Hmm. Um, yeah, I think Chastity will say, she spoke many things. It was very confusing. I can't speak for her, but only for what I saw.
Do try to think, child. This is most important. Thou stands here before God. Thou cannot lie.
Hmm. Oh, you know what? I think I might try to embody my confused condition here.
Okay.
So I think in that case I have to do a move though. I don't know what move. I maybe shut him down or something. Or
Are you afraid? Or, I mean, so what do you want to. Actually, what do you do? Just tell me what you do, and we'll see. Are you afraid right now? Is also a question. I mean, because if you're not, you really should be.
yeah, I think she is afraid. She's mostly afraid that any of her sisters are gonna be implicated, um, at least. But I think she is confused a little bit. I think it'd probably go more frightened because while she is confused about Grace's motivations, because she kind of admitted she lied to her in front of us, or was lying about the witchcraft. But I think she's probably more frightened for her friends, I would guess.
Yeah, that definitely sounds more like you need to keep your cool because you're afraid of slipping up and saying the wrong thing. So why don't we roll with that? I mean, you're not cold at all. This will be entertaining.
Yeah. So I just get the +1 from that. So this is just a straight roll. I failed every roll I've made. I just realized tonight. Let's see how this goes.
Well,
I've continued the tradition by rolling a 6.
okay. So you look wildly around, and your eyes land on Verity for a second, and the judge notices that, and just says, "Be seated, but we shall call thee to the bar as necessary." Mercy Pembleton, thou art called before the bar of this court.
Mercy stands up.
You too were an accuser of the deceased, John Baxter.
Yes.
And a friend of the deceased, Ephraim Moore.
Yes.
And you are a friend of the Reverend Wilkins,
Yes.
who has replaced the Reverend Moore.
Yes.
Draw you no pattern from these curious affairs?
Mercy's going to bite her tongue here. Trigger
Oh,
her
that's your
patience is a
move,
virtue.
yes.
Yes. And roll plus cold. So that is an 8, 9. That is a 10. I get a string on the judge.
Walter Payton, Esquire. All right, so you bite your tongue, and he's just... Thou art compelled to testify, girl. Thou standeth before court and God. Or is thy tongue rooted to the roof of thy mouth? Art thou witched?
You seem to have this all figured out. Do I even need to speak?
Your insolence does you no credit, girl. Bailiffs, restrain her. So Chastity's father comes walking over and says, "Forgive me, miss. I'm sure you'll be fine." We call the servant, good wife, Fortune. What? Yes, Greenwood. What a curious name. Comest thou before the court, dear child, dear girl, dear lass? Thou comest.
Fortune approaches, and she's very demure and very like keeps her eyes down. She's dressed very modestly today. She's not wearing any of her usual gowns that have alterations to draw attention to herself. She's very dour.
How likest thou thy service? Find thou the Whitbournes to be goodly masters?
The Whitbournes are very godly people. It's been a joy to serve with them. They have been so kind to me.
As were the Blackthorns, who were thy master in Salem village. Is it not so?
Dost thou know of the Blackthorns, my lord?
Aye, hath sentenced the wife to be hung. The husband we cannot find, and their son has fled, they say, to New York or New Jersey.
I assure you, my lord, that happened much after my departure from Salem.
Yes, thou didst depart most rapidly, and in the night, according to many.
I was afeared for my life. Witches are dark and terrible creatures of the night, and I could not abide to be in a town full of them. I came to Kingsport to try and flee from such terrors.
Witches are indeed dark and terrible creatures. Thou hast accused the deceased, John Baxter, but thou hast not accused the deceased, Ephraim Moore. How comest thou not to have known that she was a witch, and yet have known that John Baxter was a witch.
Perhaps it was that Aphramore never bewitched me. I know that I was only tormented by the specters of John Baxter. They would appear in my bedroom, pinching me at night, saying lewd things in my ears, and doing the most lascivious things.
Night, yes. That doth suffer oft of a night. Well, here thou art among friends, dear girl. Here thou may speak with no fear, and in the light of our Lord and Savior. So come thou. Knowst thou of any other witches? Thou art an observant girl.
I suppose Aphramore was a witch. I cannot judge the dead, for she is gone now. That is not my place. John Baxter, too, has haunted me, but he, too, is dead. And I must admit that I am no longer bewitched by any one person who stands in this courtroom.
You know, would it not be appropriate to say that thou knowest much of witchcraft, having spent so long in Salem town?
To be around something is not to know it, my lord. I know only the things that a simple servant girl should know. My Bible and my place.
Indeed. Well, thou art a clever girl, though, and it does seem to me a most curious thing. Here we have Aphramore, who was a witch and who is deceased. Here we have John Baxter, who was a witch and is deceased. And here we have the fallen Reverend Moore, who was blind and deaf and stricken that way yesterday. Find you it not strange that John Baxter should die and the Reverend Moore be cursed, and yet they be the only witches that anyone in this village should call? I find this impossible to believe. I put it to you that there is another witch, at least in this town. What sayst thou to that?
The thought is terrifying, my lord. I would have hoped that John Baxter would have seen the error of his ways, because I do truly pray that no soul is beyond redemption. I thought that perhaps maybe he had done that horrible thing to the Reverend, and then seeing the torment that he had caused to this family with his own eyes and not his blasphemous witch vision, that he might have had a moment where our Lord came to him and redeemed his soul, if only for a moment.
Thy scripture is faulty if thou would think that our Lord should endorse self-murder. For John Baxter could have been redeemed, but now he shall not be buried as a Christian.
Thou art a much more learned man than I, my lord. I can only hope for the souls that now must face damnation and pray for them.
I put it to you that you are concealing. You are dissembling. And you are suspicious.
I need to roll to keep my cool.
You do, yes.
Can he just ask me Bible verses? I've already established she knows them back and forth. I am terrified that I'm going to not be able to convince this man, the hanging man, basically, that I am not someone he should be paying such close attention to. And my cold is garbage, so here we go. It's a 9. It is a 9.
Fantastic. Sure. I get to tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and if you choose to back down or go through with it. So, here is what you must do. If you do not accuse someone, you will be arrested.
Shit. Okay. I realize what's happening, and I realize that I'm being set up, and I let a single tear roll down my face, and I crumple into my seat, and I say, "My lord, I have only ever hoped for the best in people's souls. But I think that there is another witch here, and I'm not sure that she has repented. I think that darkness runs more deeply in the Baxter family than one would first assume. I believe Grace Baxter to be a witch.
It is well that you say so, child, for she hath confessed to me. And what is more, she has revealed to me who the witches are. Please, sit thou, but not by thy family. Stay to the side where we may watch you. I call upon the learned Malachi Goodwin, Esquire, late of the ship Tethys.
I stand. Walk.
Malachi Goodwin, let me say, boy, that I am most afeared for the condition of thy parents, and I do hope that that God in his mercy shall spare such a goodly and Christian family.
Thank you, sir.
How old was thy sister when first she came to live with thee?
3.
And how came she to live with thee?
May I ask what is the purpose of this question, sir?
No.
And I suppose I don't have to answer, sir.
Why would this be a matter that you would hold so dear that you would face being put to the question?
Why does this matter to you, sir? That you would wish to push me in such a public manner. Most ungentlemanly, if I may add.
May I put it to you, man to man, my dear boy? Your parents are witched. Yesterday, a man killed himself, another man was blinded and struck deaf. There is work of witching about. It has witched thy family, and thou stands here protecting them? Dost thou not see that that appears to be suspicious beyond all rational explanation?
Who are you accusing, sir?
Well, now, since thou put it in such a way, I accuse thee. Malachi Goodwin, I do accuse thee of being a witch, and I do conjure our goodly bailiff to place you into custody.
And Mercy stands up like with the bailiff sheet and yells, "No!"
God bless your
Verity
soul.
just starts screaming.
Silence! Silence in this court. Mr. Goodwin, as thou has an objection, come thou before the bar now.
I do not. God bless your soul, sir.
Verity Goodwin,
Yes, my lord.
I accuse thee of being a witch. I have it on the testimony of a confessed witch, that thou didst come to her in the form of a great beast, that thou didst tell her to seal her tongue and tell no one. Do you deny this charge, or do you wish to take this moment to confess before Almighty God your sins?
I am a witch. And moreover, I have witched my brother to do my bidding. He is innocent.
I wish you had been more forthcoming. Now I understand why it was so painful. I wish that I could spare such a goodly young sailor, who, I am assured by the fine Captain Moab Pembleton is a man well worth reckoning, and no doubt would greatly expand our fisheries through his efforts and seamanship. But I know that thou and he have committed unnatural relations.
He did so only because I convinced him to, and I used the powers of Satan.
I think at this point, whoever is holding me down, I'm struggling against them. And I think I'm just yelling, Verity, no! No! And so on
Do
and
you
so
wish
forth.
it's good old Major Justice Whitburn? Do you wish to lash out with violence?
Me?
No, Malachi.
Yeah.
Actually, trying to remember what, I feel like this dark itself is a little difficult.
Mhm.
Huh. It doesn't make sense though. What is this judge's name again?
Halter Peyton, Esquire.
Halter Peyton Esquire. Sure. I'll lash out against whoever is
Okay.
holding me back.
It's Chastity's dad, so don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
And I think I'm like shouting out. Also, I'm shouting like, come out, you old goat.
Mm.
Okay.
Is this not what you desired? And so on and so forth.
Please roll.
Yes.
This will be fun. Plus volatile.
6 plus 1 is 7.
Oh, cool. So you get a choice. Which one do you choose?
Let's see. I mean, I am already my darkest self, so I guess I can't choose that.
Yep, pretty much.
They learned something about my true nature? Actually, no. Let's make this terrible. You get to decide how bad the harm turns out.
Oh, I was so hoping you would say that.
Right.
Cool. You grab kindly old Justice Whitburn, shove him away. He hits the edge of the rail, and he does not hit that hard, but you see a wound open up of its own accord, right across his chest, and there's blood spilling everywhere.
I'm running at this the Chief Justice Esquire man.
I stop you. I grab you by the shoulders and I say, you are not protected. I am. Let me do this.
Are you?
I'm going to spend a string.
I look at you in the eyes and I say, step aside, sister of mine. And I think I shove you away and you know, continue my path.
Right.
Can I roll to lash out against
the judge?
Yeah.
You're going to get killed.
I have my mute on. As you walk up to the judge, Moab Pembleton intercepts you. He's like, boy, what are you doing?
Will you let him hang me and my sister, sir?
Let your sister confess.
As did I.
She witched you. It can be made well again. I have money and influence in this town, and there are other towns, boy. You would be one of our family.
I will join you, but on the condition that she's released.
I have no influence over that. We both know that she is a child of the woods and darkness.
Sir, what is darkness? There are so many different darknesses. What does it matter?
There's the darkness that lies in the heart of men. There's the darkness beneath the waves. There's the darkness between the stars, where the things that live there come upon the earth.
And so
And of these,
if we are thus shrouded, what does it matter, sir? Please.
there is nothing in this universe more than survival, boy. Survive and live and love again.
I will give my life for her, sir. But I need to know that she will be safe.
This is not the way, boy. Help you I might be able to, but in our own way and our own time.
You're a good man, sir.
So are thou, lad.
I have heard many a word today and yesterday. And I think the time for speaking is over.
Oh no.
No.
You're gonna have to go through him.
How does one kill an elder god?
Well, first you get through Moab Pimbleton. Then we'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, how do I guess I strike out against him.
Yep.
Alright, I'll roll. That's a 6.
Fuck.
Okay. Wow, I don't even need to spend a string. You go to strike Moab. He catches your fist in his big hands, and you realize he is far, far stronger than you ever realized. And with a crunching noise, he just twists your wrist, and you hear it snap, and he shoves you back. You're going to take 1 harm, which is going to put you at 4. You are already in your darkest self.
Uncle, no!
There's only one option for not dying here. I don't know if you wish to take it.
What is it?
You lose all your strings.
Sure, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like my strings have not been very effective so far. So
All right, so you pass out. One of the bailiffs and Moab and Mercy's father are going to carry you out to the jail.
I think it is only proper that the only male character gets a very
Meanwhile, they also are going to try and arrest Verity. And Fortune, can you gaze in such a way that does not draw attention to yourself?
I think so, because we've established that my gazing is really just kind of like dipping into shadows for a second. And so I think that there's probably enough like light shooting off of things that I can see. And actually, because I'm standing on the side of the court, I can actually see the shadow that's being cast by the witch, the witch hunter, basically. So I want to gaze into his shadow, and I want to find out how I can rescue primarily myself and Verity, but also my sisters. Priorities, y'all. Priorities.
That's a tall order.
It is. It's a really tall order. That's why I'm gazing into the abyss, because I can't think of it myself.
Thanks.
Alrighty. My dark +2. Is it +2? I like to know before I roll 2. Okay. 5, 6, 7.
Okay. I think previously you asked me how you can get your name out of the book, right?
No, I'm pretty well shacked up with the devil. I'm okay with that.
I was trying to remember who asked me, and I told them that the only way was to get the help of the elder powers of the earth.
It's Verity.
Okay. What you see is you stand upon Kingsport Head. Oh, okay. Thank you. You stand upon Kingsport Head, and you see an enormous wave. A wave that's taller than Kingsport Head itself. And Kingsport Head is a good 200 feet high. And out of the wave, you see many tentacles and then an enormous face that is some hideous cross between fish and human. And they hold not a book, but they wave their hand. A wave crashes over the head and leaves wet sand as if the beach were to come, the waves were to withdraw back. And there's a stick next to it, as if you could sign your name.
So I have to shack up with something much bigger and darker. Okay.
Perhaps not bigger or darker, but, home team.
Alrighty then. And I can only do this from King's Head.
Well, that's where your vision was. I mean, Kingsport Head is a place of mystic power. That much is obvious to you.
Okay. There are some dark magics that need to be cast, y'all. Okay then.
Oh, dark magics are so cool. Cool. Okay, so Mercy, so Agatha and hi, it's late. Malachi and Verity are in jail. Same jail cell. They kind of washed the blood off, but they didn't. What are Mercy and Chastity up to?
So is Mercy was being detained by the bailiff in the courtroom in the meeting
I don't
house?
think they accused you of witchcraft,
Okay.
though.
So I didn't go to jail. They were just
No.
guarding me from.
Yep.
Okay.
And is Major Whitbourne totally dead?
Oh yeah, he's totally dead. Sorry, dude. Lazarus Abbott has come to take care of you.
So are the trials like recessed for the night or something?
Oh yeah. No, they had to stop. They have to build the gallows.
I think we so I'm with so Fortune Charity. It would be Fortune. Wait, okay?
Was I arrested or was I let go?
Well, you testified, so yeah, they let you go.
Okay, so Fortune
They're
Chastity.
gonna build the gallows on Kingsport Head because
Why not?
So if I'm with Fortune and Chastity,
I'm comforting Chastity.
we need to break them out. We need to break them out, and we need to leave this town tonight.
Break who out?
We need to free the good ones.
Why?
Because they're not witches.
They killed my father.
Malachi killed your father. Verity did not. Verity does not deserve to hang on the hangman's noose.
It seemed to me that Malachi was acting on her accord.
Malachi doesn't act for anyone but Malachi. Verity is the one who was trying to spare him. We should save Verity. Has Verity not done everything to protect us? She is our sister, no matter what book she has or has not signed. We don't need Malachi Goodwin, but we want to save Verity.
Therefore, we need to save Malachi.
Why?
Sisters, what more is there to this town? What more loyalty do you have to Kingsport? If there was a way that we could wipe the board clean and start over, would you do it?
I have nothing else.
That's right. All we have is each
Chastity,
other right now.
you have us. And we can start again. And we can build something that doesn't have the taint of all of these men, all of these proper, pious men who try to drag us down and destroy everything that we stand for.
My father only tried to help me in every action he took.
Yes, he stood against the others, and look what happened to him. And now we should take revenge. Do you not want to avenge your father?
Yes.
And you, Mercy? Are you willing to let go of the rest of your family the way I saw you let go of your lineage?
Absolutely. I think if we want revenge, it's Halter Patton. Judge Patton is the one that brought all of this to head.
Oh, sisters, it's not just Patton that we will claim vengeance against. It's everyone in this blight of a town that has ruined us. We will save those who are worthy, and we will start again in our own country.
At that moment, comes a knock on the door, and in comes Leah Baxter, weeping. Mercy, Mercy.
Yes.
It was too much for her. It was too much. The questioning, she wanted to be quiet, but she could not be quiet, and it was too much for her. She was such a sensitive soul. Oh, Mercy. I know. You are the only one who understands.
I step forward and I backhand the old woman.
Oh. Please roll the last shot.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. Volatiles -1. Oh my god, it's okay, it's like a 6. Fuck.
Okay. She picks you up and throws you over the sofa.
Okay.
Just take a harm. It's not as bad as it looks. It's just the holy cow.
Yeah.
She grabs Mercy and goes, and Mercy, for the first time in your life, you realize how much stronger your people are, even in human form. She began the change, Mercy. She began the change. You know what happens when it happens so young.
Oh dear.
She will not live the night unless the elders have pity on us.
I pick myself up from behind the couch. And I lean over and I say, Lady Baxter, I think it's time we had a talk. There's no more of this us versus them. If you want to save Grace Baxter, I have a way, and I think it will be to your liking.
What way is that, girl? What know you of this?
Is there any way that I could like this would just be like decorative magic, but like can I show her my visions or something? Like or should I just describe them in a way that's like fitting? I would love it if I could just grab her hand.
You
and
have
just, like, show her my
illusions.
visions.
Yeah, sure. I think that's fine.
Okay. Should I roll for that or?
Nah. Well, you're a witch.
Yeah. So I walk
Not
over.
only are you a witch, you're showing her a vision from Dagon. So.
Mm-hmm. So I walk over and I place my hands on her temples, and I just, I chant a couple of Latin words, and I flood her brain with the visions of what I saw. And then as when she settles back from it, I say, there is no use playing the games of these mortal men. It's time that we took our rightful places as queens of this place.
You've been shown a great gift, girl. Them that are in the waves do not often speak to one not of our people or one that we have chosen for them. But you may not understand all that is being asked of you.
And I grab her hand and I say, then I beseech you, Lady Baxter, teach me. I am but one person and I may have power, but I don't have knowledge. And I think that you could share that with me.
In short, thou wilt not be human.
I am already forsaken. Do you think that a simple change of identity will stop me at this point?
You are a wild, untamed girl, and the messenger will claim his price.
I will deal with him when he comes.
But have we need of a priestess, one who could perhaps train our new priest? Save my daughter and I shall intervene with them in the water. Then
We have not much time, Lady Baxter.
save my daughter, perhaps save your friend, and then hie thee to the mouth of the river Inn, for there we shall build our own Jerusalem.
It is a deal.
Oh, that no one took to say. Okay, so, Verity, you wanted to see the messenger?
Oh, yeah. There's some
Okay.
stuff to say.
Actually, since it's getting near sundown, he wants to see both of you. So, by the way, your Malachi, your harm is back to 0 now. That's the thing. So, yeah. So he comes down to visit you guys in jail. Like, good evening, my dears. Malachi, 'tis the time of decision. What hast thou chosen?
She leaps up from the bench and runs at him. I'm going to roll to lash out physically.
Oh, but you're behind the bars.
Oh, I thought he was in the cell with us.
Nah,
No,
nah.
okay.
He doesn't trust you that much.
Didn't.
Yeah, well, you can be up against the bars. That's
What?
frightening.
What was I kind of forgot what the
Oh, he would strike her name from the book, and he would by setting her free. Because he liked your moxie. You got spunk, kid.
I accept.
I object.
Well, now, young Mistress Verity, our deal was that thou would sign my book, and I would protect all those that thou loved. So, shall I strike thy name from the book? Our bargain is null.
I am aware.
Well, now,
I don't
this is
think
a
that it
dear
is-
thing.
I don't think that it is quite right that others can make decisions for me regarding a bargain that you and I struck. So if you remove my name from your book, it would stand to reason that then I would still get what I want from thee. Because I have not chosen to remove myself.
Thou bandies words with me, the learned Justice Peyton? And he chuckles.
Oh, bandy words as much as I like. I understand that I am the weapon that you desire.
This is true. And yet,
If thou wouldst keep me, then thou wouldst not do what my brother demands.
true, but now I feel that I have left something on the table. It is not a feeling I relish. And young Malachi seems to have so much to offer. So,
Then what would you of me?
you know that you can be free at any time you wish. These bars are not made to keep out thy other form.
You would have me wreak havoc on the town.
I would always have you wreak havoc on the town. What purpose do you serve if you don't? I mean, seriously, what's the use of you?
I will do it.
Good. But what about
No.
young Master Malachi?
Malachi, you want nothing of him.
can't.
What are a few dead Puritans when it comes to the freedom and safety of the people that I love?
Exactly. This is what I keep telling people.
No. Oh.
Why do you protest?
You could be free of him.
But then you would likely die, as would our parents, as would everything else that ties me to this place. The town could burn to the ground for all we know. He can do whatever he likes. That is the thing about making deals with the devil, my love. There's nothing for it. He will do whatever he feels like. He will twist your words. He will make things untenable. And so when he said he would free me, what he meant was he will release me from everything I love. I would rather see every man in this town dead.
I think Malachi just sits back down, in defeat.
I love you and I'm sorry.
You're not sorry. There's no one here that is sorry.
Do you think that I enjoy being in this position? I did these things so that I could protect the people I care about. Doesn't mean I enjoy them.
Everyone only believes what they think is right. The ones that don't believe, the light in the others that do. No one feels sorry. In the end, everyone has excuses for themselves.
And you're not going to do the same?
We are all the same, Verity.
Well, the difference between you and I is that I am going to use my power to do what is right by the people that I love, that I already know they want, which is freedom and safety. And you asked the devil for a favor without asking whether or not that was a thing I wanted.
I don't know if you also asked for what I wanted, Verity. Do you think I desire my own safety over control over you? Is that what you think of me, a coward?
In fairness, I didn't ask once you got home. I asked before you did, and I didn't think you were coming back.
Cannot stop you.
No one can.
No, no one can. I'm gonna roll to shut you down.
Go for it.
I think that's what I'm doing. That is a 6, I believe. Yep, that is a 6.
Okay. The messenger just looks at the two of you and says, "How charming. What a lovely parting. Croatoan, my dear girl. Go and do my bidding." And with that, you change violently, suddenly, and the wolf chases Verity from your mind.
That's right.
You, my dear boy, tomorrow thou wilt hang. Is that what you desire?
Wait, I thought my family was protected.
Sure.
Doesn't matter now. Gotta go.
I think I just laugh a little to myself. And then I take out this tiny Bible that I keep on me at all times and I flip it open to read it.
Oh, would that thou had more time. You and I would make such a wonderful team. Also, there are agreements. You are a most astonishing puzzle, Malachi. Oh well, blood for blood. It will all out. And he just vanishes. He doesn't even bother with the formalities. He just is gone. Okie dokie. Crazy Wolf is running around the town, huh? Where are the rest of you? Just out of curiosity. I'm gonna guess Kingsport head?
I'm ready to enact my grand rite.
Oh, good. Cool. So you're up on the head. You've got poor Grace Baxter. Mercy and Chastity, are you with them? Or is Chastity like, nope, not having anything with this?
I think Chastity's doing a different thing.
What is Chastity off doing?
I think she wanted to go to the place where we had those fun rituals the first time.
Uh-huh.
And just, I think, bring a cat.
Oh, no.
Get rid of that cat and try and talk to her dad.
All right, so you're standing there covered in cat blood.
Yeah.
And the mess, it doesn't look like jolly old messenger.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like an 8-foot tall man carved out of ebony with hooves for feet and huge horns.
Mm-hmm.
It looks down on you and is like, dost thou like my appearance?
Hey, she's not frightened anymore, so I think she just looks up, just covered in blood and everything. She's like, well, my other father is gone, so to me you look lovely.
1,000 masks, they say I bear. Or 999 now. Thou art a potentiality, a form I might have taken, made life. But mine contract with thy father is at an end. What shall I do with thee, daughter mine? What willst thou have?
My father that I loved was taken from me, and the ones that I thought loved me now make deals with other people. If you're the only one left to me, I would ask what you need of me.
What a dangerous and foolish thing to say. But you are my daughter. Very well. Thou wouldst have my esteem?
Please.
Thou wouldst supplant others in my favor?
Anything.
Go thou to my blessed servant Fortune, who desires to turn apostate. Let her know that there is no leaving me. Slay her. And I shall give thee the power to do so, and I shall guide thy hand. And with that, he's gone.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
So maybe you are up on Kingsport head after all.
Yeah. I don't think there's a move for that. I feel she would just do that to get that in return.
Fantastic. Well, you don't know what your reward might be. Maybe you'll be a real girl. I mean, are you afraid of anything here, Chastity? I'm not really sure you're afraid.
Yeah, okay, I could do that. I think she's afraid now that, um, I guess, of loneliness or being abandoned.
That's fair. But just for fun, if you want to spend a string on fortune,
Oh
that
yeah.
will be available to you. Because I'm reasonably sure that's how that will work.
Oh yeah, I will do that because I rolled a 6, so I'll move it up to a 7.
Cool. Um. Okay. If you kill Fortune, you will take her place as a witch.
Mhm.
Those are the consequences of your actions.
Yep, I think she's fine. She can handle that, maybe.
Okay. All right. So you guys are up on the head. While you're looking down at the town, you see people suddenly raising torches, and you hear the clacking of wood and the occasional cowbell, as if something was happening down in the town. But it's okay. Um, and just so you know, Verity, you will be coming in on this scene at some point. But you guys are up on the head with poor Grace, who is shaking and trembling and looks terrible, like she's half fish, half people, because she is. Um, what are you guys doing? You and Mercy, and
So,
and I think Moab, I think is there too.
and is Leia there as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and the
What about
Reverend.
Alexander?
Yep. Yeah, that makes
Wow.
sense.
Okay.
And
All the Hamiltons.
yeah, and the Reverend Wilkins.
Okay. So I assume that I'm probably convening with the Pembletons, who, despite the fact that I'm just a mortal girl, they probably, they're dealing with me because I'm about to do something pretty big. So, but I'm actually in the middle of telling them it's like we cannot begin until Chastity and Verity are here. I will not begin until they are here.
What have they to do with this?
I made a promise.
They are thy coven, of course.
Yes, they are my coven, my sisters, my family. You have your family here, all of you Pembletons around me, and I'm supposed to just go along with it without my family? I don't think so.
Who else here is of thy coven?
Your daughter, Grace Baxter, is of my coven. She signed my book.
And I think Moab
Your
and
daughter,
Leia
Mercy,
both turn at Mercy like,
and your daughter Mercy has signed my book as well. It appears we're more closely knit than you first expected.
oh, thou art a witchy woman, art thou?
I have my ways of making myself necessary. And I think I've proven why that's necessary.
Well, then I guess we must wait, but let us pray that they come quickly.
They will. Your father promised me they would be here.
So a quick smash cut back to the jail. Hey, Malachi, you're sitting there reading your Bible. The only thing that you see is now and then the guard crossing in front of the bonfire outside. Then you hear a sound like a strangled growl, and something hits the ground, and a stark naked Fear the Lord Wood comes walking in holding a ring of keys.
Inuit.
Okay. I stand up startled.
We don't have much time. I know that my sister would never forgive me, should thou hang in the morning.
I thought she would be leaving at some point.
When one finds a sister after so long, one keeps their promises to her. Also, she's just quite frightening, even as a person.
She is that. All right, I guess I walk forward if he unlocks the jail.
He unlocks the door and then he looks at you and says, "Thou wilt see something shortly that will startle and amaze thee. For I shall turn into a fearsome creature of the woods."
Does you mean a wolf?
Yes, actually.
Please.
Oh, I only do this because my sister is a little off her rocker today. And
I'm killing people.
yeah, thou art a strong man, and I urge thee take the pike staff of the sentry who I have dealt with. But yes, anyway, and with that he changes into a wolf. Another big red-headed wolf. And leaps out into the darkness with you at his heels.
I guess I do take the pike staff and
Probably a good
follow.
plan.
Very smart.
Cool. So everybody's converging. Who arrives first up on the head? Of course.
Volunteer.
Of course. Cool. How do you arrive?
So it's nighttime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So the wind is, whipping off of the ocean, and everything is very ominous and scary. And you hear the low rumble of a growl around the edges of wherever you're standing. And Verity lurches into view.
At this point, I stride forward and I say, Verity, oh, thank goodness, Verity, you're here, but
In wolf form.
Change your shape.
She growls at you.
I kind of take a step back and I say, Verity, now is not the time. We are about to do something big. Change your shape.
I mean, we know how this goes, right? She, there's nothing even remote, like normally when she's in wolf form, there's something like gentle about her. There's nothing gentle in her eyes, and she leaps at you.
Can I arrive?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to get in the way, if possible.
That seems perfectly appropriate.
Quick question.
Yeah, so I would like to go there and then see this, throw away my pike staff that has been slowing me down all this time, and basically leap in front of you, Verity, to
Great choice.
do things.
So, when basked in moonlight, I act as if I have dark 3, but I don't roll with dark for lash out physically. I roll with volatile. So my volatile is 2, right? I took 2. Yeah, so I roll 7, 8, 9.
Which one do you choose?
I already am my darkest self, so you can decide how the harm turns out. Seems like gaining a string doesn't really do anything for us at this point because the game's over, but that's some drama.
Da, 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 da. You do 2 harm. And then I spend 2 strings from the messenger to do 4 harm.
Oh no!
Actually, I can only spend 1 at a time. So I can't.
Oh, thank God.
3 harm.
Sure.
Once
I
again,
killed my brother boyfriend. Oh no!
once again, you're bleeding. However, that will end your darkest self.
Yeah, so she immediately turns back into herself, fully naked, covered in blood, and gathers Malachi up in her arms and just is like crying and saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
And this would be the first time that Mercy realizes that Verity's a werewolf.
Oh, yeah.
How you feeling about that there, Mercy?
She's in no position to judge. I'm just saying.
Good guys.
So she kind of like, she's stunned, and then she kind of looks over at Malachi with a look like, "Are you a werewolf too?"
Wait, so Captain Moab is there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
so-
just looking around.
Yeah.
'Tis appropriate, I suppose. We have the three peoples here.
I look to him and I think I'm just like, as I'm like bleeding out again and I think I'm like almost starting to lose my consciousness again. And then I just say, I apologize, sir, for disrespecting you.
'Tis nothing. Boy.
And then at this point, I burst in. Okay, you know what? We'll deal with this later. He's holding on. Where is Charity? We cannot start without Charity. Do any of you know where Charity is? Chastity. Sorry.
No.
Chastity? Where art thou?
I think she went to her dad's to get the really reliable guns or something that he has, like a rifle, and she's gonna go try and find Mercy. Fortune and Mercy, I guess.
Pair of matched flintlock pistols.
Just saying, she knows where we are. Like I'm sure I told them all, like, we're meeting here at this hour. Don't be late.
Fantastic.
Oh, I'm trying to think if I should bring a red shirt and have Lazarus come too.
Oh my god.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
More bodies.
Yeah. Okay. So he arrives with his fowling piece, and he's just like, "Oh, okay. No, interesting." So, I think I just want you to spend a string on him because I know you got one. Oh, you don't.
Oh, I used it because
Well, interesting. Then we'll see how this plays out.
yeah.
But he will come up to the head with you because you told him something witches.
Something which is something.
Oh yeah, all this blood all over me. That was the witches.
Yeah, the witches. So I guess, is this the moment you arrive?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
So I run over and I just immediately like embrace you, and I'm like, Chastity, thank goodness you're here. I was so afraid that you wouldn't make it.
Oh, and she's just so cold, like barely moves.
So oh my God. I'm like super nervous. I'm just like, I like pull you by the shoulders, and I'm like, Chastity, there's something that I need to tell you. There's a tradition in my people that in order for a coven to truly form, we need 3 members. We need a maiden, a mother, and a crone. I am your mother, and we have Leia, who will serve as our elder. But we need one more. Chastity, I want you to be the 3rd part of this trinity. I want you to complete our circle of the night. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, that's really good.
Can Mercy hear this?
That's a good question.
I don't know. How close are you guys? I mean, it seems to me that that Chastity probably came walking up on the edge of the firelight, so you may not be that close.
Okay.
What do you do, Chastity?
I'm offering you family. I'm offering you everything. All the things that you were afraid of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have a string to spend on her? Because this sure sounds like you're spending a string on her.
You know, I can't. Wait, no. I had 2 strings, but I used the hair ribbon already, and that was one of the strings. But I still have one more string. So yeah, I'm going to use that last string and just be like, Chastity join me, and that's like my last string spend.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because I think I want to gaze into the abyss to figure this out, to embody my confused.
I can ratchet up the sob story too. I have a backstory ready for this.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to gaze into the abyss?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What do you guys think? Or should I do that, or the just do the XP or the string? I mean,
What does your gaze into the abyss look like? I'd be curious to see that. It probably won't work out well for me, but
yeah. Well, I think so far I've done it where she prays or she sacrifices a cat. So somewhere in the middle of that.
different churches, same prayers.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Why don't you give this a roll?
Yeah. Okay. So I am pretty good at dark. Thankfully. So that that gives me a 7.
Oh, the visions are horrible, terrible. Okay, cool. So this is what you get. You see the same thing, the wave and the tentacles and the face, and it washes over the head, and the book with Chastity, with Fortune's name signed in it is swept out to sea. But you turn to walk back with everyone, and you slump to the ground as if a puppet had had its strings cut.
Oh no.
And that's the vision.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, all right, that's good. I think if Chastity wasn't crying before, now she just starts. I think her expression doesn't change, but she just starts crying, and then I think she just I think she was just holding this gun and just kind of lifts it up and just says my father said you've gone astray, and just tries to shoot Fortune. I guess.
Yeah, that's a straight up. You just take 2 harm right off the bat.
That puts me at 3. Wait, well, did I recover from getting tossed over a sofa? Has it been long enough?
Did you do anything about that? You did not. So,
no, I did not.
No.
Okay, I'm at 3 harm. I take some shrapnel to the face, and you know what? It shreds half my face. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I kind of fall backwards.
I think Lazarus covers you. It's like, do not move, witches! All of you are witches!
I'm gonna lash out physically at them.
Do you drop Malachi?
Yeah. Sorry, bud.
Do you transform?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
I roll a 10.
That's fantastic and scary. Who are you attacking? Chastity?
I think Chastity. She's the one that fired the shot
Fair enough.
at my pseudo girlfriend.
Take 2 harm there, Chastity.
Oh, this means I can use werewolf moves, right?
Oh my god, yes you can. You can use specifically one of their moves or one of their playbook moves. I'm trying to remember now.
It's one of their skin moves.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say that's one they actually took either, so that's fun. That's hysterical.
Well.
Yeah.
In case it becomes important, the moon is up.
Can I also turn to Captain Moab to be like, I don't know, like maybe just like as I'm like fading in and out of consciousness, like whatever it is, I accept.
Oh God, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna file that away and use it at the appropriate moment. Okay, what do you do there, Chastity?
Well, I think the most appropriate one to take would be the scent of blood. Just take +1 to anyone who's been harmed this scene. So I think that's only Fortune, though.
I mean, Malachi is pretty
Malachi,
good as
Yep.
well.
Oh, that's true.
So at this point, Fortune stands, like claws her way up to the ground and looks at you, and like you see like tears rolling out of her eyes. You see like the betrayal on her face, and she just she starts the grand rite. She summons the typhoon, and there's no promise that you'll be protected.
Roll plus dark.
That is a 10.
Okay. So this is what happens. First, Grace Baxter stops screaming. Wiggles out of her clothes. She looks something like a tadpole and just leaps from the head into the waves. Second, the eyes of Moab and Leah start to glow. Oh, that's strange. Male and female, huh? And they look at you, Fortune. The child has summoned us. What shall we do with the child, father mine? What shall we do with the child, mother mine?
Shit. I bow to them and I say, Father and Mother of the sea, I come to you as a child of the land, but I ask your favor. Wipe out the blight that is this town and make it anew so that we can create something better.
You bend the knee often, girl. How do we know that your loyalty shall be any greater to us than it was to him?
I look over at Verity and I say, because this time I have something to lose.
What does loss mean to you, says Leia.
I've known loss. I lost my family in Salem. I've lost the trust of some of the people I thought I'd found here. But if there's one person that I know if there's one person I can't lose, it's her.
Think thou what thou asks. For you shall assuredly lose her should you become one of our people. By the way, Chastity, what are you doing in all this?
So I assume Verity is like pounced on her, right? And is just like
Probably,
throwing her down or something.
Yeah, I probably like bit at you and am now holding you to the ground.
Yeah, I feel she's not even struggling. She's just like quietly crying. Especially hearing that, like, oh, I have something to lose. Looking at Verity, like, oh, of course.
Okay. Fantastic. Their eyes swivel to you, Mercy. Daughter, thou hast slain one of our own. Our people do not slay each other. Not in the water.
It was for the greater good.
By what right do you judge that?
By my own.
Sundered we are forever. There is no home for you ever beneath the waves. But we shall not take the salt from thy seed. Thy children will be able to come to us in their time. But no Pembleton shall ever live in Innsmouth upon pain of death. At that, poor Moab. Well, Moab is possessed, but he's going to have some real problems with this in the future.
I understand.
And in recompense, they look at the Reverend. He too shall be delayed long in coming to our waves. But may thou and he have many children. Moab kneels next to you, Malachi.
Okay, I guess I drift awake.
Thy blood is weak and warm.
Yes, sir.
Would thou become as one of us?
Yes.
Thou hast need of salt. If thy sister weeps over thee, you shall join us and become one. But thou shalt go to Innsmouth. Thou shalt be our herald and assist in the building of the place for us.
Yes, sir.
You shall keep the legend alive in secret until the right time has come, and the marshes shall reveal their truth to all Innsmouth.
Yeah, and I think my eyes are like glazing over
Okay.
because I'm still losing blood.
If I've already cried over him, does that count at this point? Because she was for sure weeping on him before she turned.
Yeah, I think they want this now. They're capricious fish gods.
I hate Capricious Fish God.
However, it's a great third album.
Yeah, maybe my eyes are glazing over, but I turn to like Verity in wolf form, kind of holding Chastity down, and I just like beckon you over.
She leaves Chastity and sort of slinks over to you and is herself by the time she gets to you. Is that what you want?
Cry for me, sister.
Why is
This is the-
everyone so determined to leave me for the ocean?
This is the last thing that I ask of you. You're strong and I am weak. How can I protect you? Like this. And I like glance down at like this gaping wound.
Maybe I was the one that was supposed to protect you. She starts weeping over you. Why couldn't you have just let me do that? Why are men like this?
I think I hug you to me, and then there's like my blood is starting to soak up. Oh, actually, you're naked. Never mind.
Yep.
My blood is running over you? Question mark.
Kind of everywhere.
And I just kind of laugh, and I like kiss your hair or something, because you're like from the top of your head.
Yeah.
Okay. So just a few more things to wrap up. So Leah puts her arm on your shoulder, Fortune. Eternal life is what we offer. But we have no power to give it to the child of the forest. All we can give you is respite, not cure.
I look over at Verity and I say, there's time to figure that out.
We shall not destroy this town, for it is ours as well, and our people live in it. But there are workings that may be done.
How shall I protect my sisters?
Go thou and seek the protection of the children of the wood. When the time comes, you will come to the water. When the time comes, Innsmouth will seek thee.
I just nod my assent and like bow to them again.
All of you should be gone by the morning. And with that, their eyes stop glowing, and Moab and Leah sink to the ground in a daze. And Verity, standing above you, is the messenger.
What do you want?
Hath I not fulfilled all my promises to thee? Thy brother is safe. Thy parents are unwitched this hour. Thy friends and thy sisters are, well, they're fine.
I find it interesting the way that you claim so much agency in the workings of others. But yes, the things that you promised have come to pass. And so now I am free of thee?
Oh, no. That was signed my book. I just tell you that all my promises are fulfilled, and I shall keep ever more promises to thee, if thou asks.
I will never ask thee for anything as long as I live.
Would that I could promise the same of thee. You are entering the woods, and for now those remain my domain. But as thou hast a protector from other great powers, you would not believe the hassle it is to deal with those people. So my burden shall be light, and my yoke shall be a pleasure to wear, blah, blah, blah. Go and have many, many tadpole children. I mean, I could make that possible, by the way. Just
I believe that I do not need that favor.
very well, then. You do realize you will be sundered from your brother.
I do.
Well, I guess I accomplished everything I came here for. Oh, one more thing. Chastity? Ooh, Chastity. Mama wants to say goodbye.
And I think she's just still been laying there, and she's like, the power you gave me wasn't enough. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Did you have fun doing all this? These several years you have lived here? Did you have fun?
She's thinks for a moment. She's like, "There were fun times."
Alone of all the people here, you would never know death. But that doesn't mean you also have to know life at the same time. At some future date, perhaps I shall call on thee. So, if I were you, I would tell your friends to not bury you very deep. And with that, the light goes out of your eyes. And with that, the messenger vanishes. We ran way over, but if anybody wants to do a quick epilogue, I would be happy to entertain those.
Epilogues.
Okay, like Verity, is this happening or is this not happening? Just saying. I'm gonna go off and live in the forest with your people until I'm called to my homelands, my new homelands. I just sold my soul again, all for you. Are we gonna kiss?
We're gonna do the thing.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's a different ritual.
I guess that kind of depends. I want to hear what Malachi's reaction to everything is, but I think this does for sure happen. But I just want to find out what his deal is, because he seemed kind of final before.
Dunwich, the ritualiest town in all of Massachusetts.
Really witchy threesomes. Listen, Verity's very bisexual.
By the way, the ritual is sex.
By the way. So yeah, Malachi, what's your feeling about the nature of our relationship at the end of all this?
I don't know. I feel like Malachi has a lot of like macho patriarchal ideas about like gender relations. So I think he's like, oh, I need to go and like get stronger and get good so I can like protect you and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then and he does like that really typical thing where he's like, yeah, like we can't talk until I'm good and so on and so forth. And obviously loses the lady because that also happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortune will take care of you, honey.
Yeah, I think what winds up happening is that kind of the thing that drew Verity to Fortune to begin with was that she was someone that Verity could protect. And so
we are siblings.
Right? We straight up are in like a really weird way.
It's not in blood.
So as everything is winding down on the top of the, King's Head and everything, people are sort of filtering out to like walk towards the woods. And I think Verity and Fortune are the last ones left. And Verity and like Fortune's sort of looking at all the things that she's sown, and Verity comes up behind her and says, "So the only thing you're afraid of losing is me?"
I can lose everything else in the world, but I'm pretty sure I can keep as long as you're by my side.
I'm a strong swimmer. And she kisses you.
And like the sun is setting and we're silhouetted.
Like romantic.
What happens with Mercy?
So I think Mercy and Perdition go on to have lots and lots and lots of babies.
Poor Mercy, poor Reverend Wilkins, who, as we know,
gross.
Still not in the water 300 years hence. But so Chastity, I mean, you're not dead. You're more dormant.
Oh yeah, I think I've got an idea of so in modern times there's an urban legend about a witch way back when that she had power, or she made a stupid wish to live forever, and so she died but her heart never stopped beating, and then the people in the town like exhumed her body and took out her heart and burned it, and then there was like 100 years later tales of a witch, so they dug up this same body and they saw that body just regrew itself and the heart was still beating, so they did it all again. And then 100 years later, the same thing happened. And it just keeps regrowing and the heart never stops beating. But that's all an urban legend, of course. That's preposterous.
Now I know I just need to have a haunted house Monsterhearts thing for 1 month. It's just going to be paranormal investigation. The ghost of Chastity Whitburn. That was fantastic, guys. I can't say enough. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed our last session of 1692. Agatha, I will see you again in 1962, where we'll do a little Cold War. I opened up a Discord thing, and I'll be back running something like this in probably December, probably 1943, and then there's gonna be some Civil War stuff in the new year, and maybe I'll get around to 1776 at that point. I don't know. So cool. Thank you all so much. I could not have asked for a better cast for both casts here. So, you guys.
That was great.
I guess I will see you all later.